So in this video I'm going to be showing some recent pictures I've taken of cuckoos up in Yorkshire at a hide set up by Mark Hughes. I'll put a link to Mark Hughes' website in the description and you can contact him and go and photograph there. Initially when we first went there I thought I was just going to do some portrait shots, maybe a few flight shots and that sort of thing. What I didn't expect to get was cuckoos mating right in front of the hide, and it's one of those shots that really and truly you don't see many of. Certainly if I had a bucket list it would be one of the shots that I'd want to do. So what I'll do is I'll show you the pictures and some video that I've taken there and explain how I took the pictures. We met Mark at 5 AM and we followed him on the short drive to the location. After parking, there's a 5-minute walk before reaching an area in amongst the reed beds where the cuckoo feeds. It's on private land. We photographed from pop-up hides which Mark provides. In front of the hide are a series of posts and branches for the birds to land on. The cuckoo is attracted by mealworms hidden in small pots at the back of the posts. When it comes down to feed on these, it's possible to get some very nice portrait shots. As the mealworms are hidden behind the posts, you must get the shots as soon as the cuckoo lands, because once it starts to feed, it will often have its back towards you. The session only lasts for about 2 hours, and this ensures there is no disturbance to the birds. I was using my OM1 and the 150 to 400mm lens, and this gave me the option of either tightly framed portrait shots or images with more space for when the cuckoo takes flight. As I was getting into the hide and setting the camera up on the tripod, Mark said it would not be long before it came down because he could see the cuckoo up in the tree. It was obviously waiting to be fed. Because it's only 5:30 AM in the morning, the light levels were still quite low, so I was shooting at ISO 2500. The cuckoo initially flew down onto a fence post and I locked onto it and took a few shots. It then flew over to the right, but I was not quick enough to catch it as it flew. I had not realised that while photographing the male on the fence, a female had flown down and landed on a post to my right. This was where the male had flown to, and they then started to mate. Fortunately, as they mated, they were facing towards the hide. I quickly moved the lens and recomposed, and I adjusted the zoom to get both birds in the competition. Although mating only lasted for a few seconds, I had the drive mode on the OM1 set to SH2, which is 50 frames per second with autofocus, so I just held down the shutter button and obtained a whole sequence of shots as they mated. The camera stopped taking pictures as the buffer eventually filled up, but by this time I had 40 plus images. In this sequence I have run the shots together to show what can be achieved using SH2 at 50 frames per second. Considering that this had taken place within the first 5 minutes of the session, I could not believe my luck. Will I get a better picture than this in 2023? It's pretty unlikely. The cuckoo came back about 5 more times, and each time staying for a few minutes while it had a good feed. When a bird is there for a length of time, I would initially do some shots in both portrait and landscape format. I would then either shoot some video or reframe the composition, allowing more space, and then try for shots as it took flight. For the flight shots I was using ProCap SH2, which enabled me to get a good sequence of images as it took off. You can see in this sequence that the cuckoo lowers its centre of gravity slightly to enable it to launch off. Unfortunately for this sequence I did not leave enough space for when the bird flew, and I've clipped the wings on some of the frames. This video clip was initially shot in slow motion at 250 frames per second, but as the cuckoo is not moving much, I thought the clip looked better speeded up at normal speed. You can see in the video clip that from the angle that I was shooting, the bottom of the pot that the mealworms are in is just visible. For a still image, it's quite easy to clone that out, but not quite so easy on the video clip. This shot of the cuckoo looked particularly nice on this lichen covered branch. It's a large crop from this image. I framed the shot for the bird in the hope that it would take off flying into the right hand side of the picture. Then, and unexpectedly, another cuckoo flew in from the left hand side. You can see in this frame that the focus stays on the bird on the twig until the other bird flies in front and past it. Here, the focus is now locked onto the bird in the front as it flies past. In between periods where the cuckoo is away, there are both female and male rebuntings coming in for the mealworms, and this enabled me to get a few nice portrait shots. I think the male reed bunting looks particularly attractive on the lichen covered branch. If you'd like to get some good cuckoo shots, then contact Mark via his website. I don't think that he can guarantee that you will get shots of them mating, but you should get some very nice shots of these beautiful birds. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe to be notified of future uploads. Thanks for watching.